Welcome everyone to Begin with Breath Tai Chi. My name is Dr. Adam Potts, the Tai Chi PT, and today is Tai Chi for stiff shoulders. So if you're having some difficulty with your shoulders, whether they're stiff, in pain, or you just want to keep them healthy and learn how to prevent issues and just make sure that you can stay functional using your arms for a very long time, then you're going to like today's class. All right, if you can hear me okay, type in Team Live. If you're here live, if you're on the replay, type in Team Replay. All right, and then also click the like button if you're enjoying these sessions each week. That sends this out to more people. All right, and then today we'll do about a 15-minute Tai Chi Flow that's really designed to lubricate the joints of the shoulder especially. All right, so it's gonna really be helpful for the shoulders. And then I'm also, after the flow, I'm gonna show you the best exercises to do to keep your shoulders flexible, to keep them from getting too stiff. All right, and then also I do have a quote, actually I have a poem today for the very end, so stick around till the end if you can. And then actually at the end of the flow, I'm also gonna play a little bit of the Native American style flute, so stick around for that too. That really just helps create an even better experience, I think. So, and I get lots of requests for that, so we'll keep doing that each week. I think that sounds good. All right, also if you're new to our community, then you can come to our free webinar this weekend. It's Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. It's called the New Member Webinar, an Introduction to Tai Chi. So you can click on the link in the video description to register for free, or you can just type webinar in the comments and we'll send you the link. All right, it is via Zoom, so you have to register in order to attend. It won't be in the group. It'll actually be a separate Zoom class. All right, so without further ado, find a place where you can do some mindful movement. All right, oh, play the flute. Yes, I will do that. I actually have my new setup here too. I got really inspired from all the requests. So I brought out all the flutes. Actually, I have even more. So, but these ones are my favorites. But yeah, so I'll play one after the flow. But for the Tai Chi Flow, you don't have to get anything perfect. Just follow along the best you can. So I'll be your mirror image. That's usually the easiest way to follow along. But if you do go one way and I go the other, I promise I won't get mad. All right, and then I do cue the breathing. But if the breathing part stresses you out, just breathe normal. All right, as long as you breathe. You can always fine tune the breathing with the movements down the road. All right, but for now, just don't worry about perfection. It's really about how it feels in the experience that you have. All right, and then we'll begin with the feet together or as close as you can. The hands can come to the lower abdomen and just taking a few deep breaths in and out. As you breathe in, the belly expands. As you breathe out, the belly returns toward the spine, abdominal breathing. Just taking a few moments to really come into the present moment. Arriving in the body, just being in the here and now. And then if you like, on the next inhale, you can hold the breath at the top just for a moment. And then let it out with a big sigh. Just letting out tension and stress. Then from here, the arms float down by the sides and then step one foot out to the side, either foot, so that they're about shoulder width apart. Then we'll just begin to rotate the shoulders, so lifting the shoulders up towards the ears and then let them fall back and down. So lubricating the joints of the shoulders. This actually releases tension from the upper back, the neck, and the shoulders. And you can do this at any time during the day. Just loosening the shoulders and breathing. And then coming back to center. And then just begin to rotate from the torso, moving from your midsection. All right, and then just letting the arms knock against the lower back and the lower abdomen. So this one's moving a little bit faster than usual. See if you can let your arms dangle like empty coat sleeves. All right, this one's called knocking on the door of life, or the gate of life. So the gate of life is actually an acupressure point in the lower back. When we knock on this point, it stimulates the energy, opens the gate. All right, and then you can begin to slow it down, coming back to center, and then just taking a moment to feel the sensations. You might even start to feel a buzzing, tingling. That's the energy really circulating now. And then with both hands together, we'll sync the chi. So as you breathe in, the arms float up to about shoulder height. They circle in front as you gather in the energy, bring it into the heart, and then send it down towards the earth. Breathing in, gather. Breathing out, directing down. Nice and easy, nice and slow. Now that we've stimulated the energy, we'll start to circulate it and let it flow. One more time, sync the chi. Breathing in, breathing out. This time the arms float up in front to about shoulder height. Then the arms get heavy, floating down, the knees and hips soften. Breathing in, like mist rising from the lake. Breathing out, floating down like a gentle rain. We call this one opening the door, the start of the journey. Stepping out onto the path. All right, one more time, rising up, softening down. This time the arms float out to the sides like you're spreading your wings. And then this hand here is going to go in front, the other one behind. As you gently rotate, coming back to center, the arms float out to the sides, and then other side. This hand comes in front, the other one behind, as you gently rotate. Clearing the field. Clearing the field of energy, letting out any old stuck energy. Just rotating back and forth, nice and slow. Breathing in, breathing out. One more time, clearing the field. All right, this time the arms float out to the sides. All right, then this hand's gonna go to the lower back, the other hand comes forward, and then all the way up and over, and all the way around. As the back hand stays connected to the lower back, we make big circles with the front arm. The Zen circles. Circulating the energy, loosening the shoulder. One more time. The Zen circles. And then reverse direction with the front arm. Both arms float out to the sides. And then this hand goes to the lower back. The other hand comes in front and circles all the way up and over and around. The Zen circles. Once again, getting a little bit taller and then sinking down as the hand comes down. Just flowing naturally. Just coming up as much as you can comfortably. One more time, the Zen circles. And then reverse direction with the front arm. Both arms float out to the sides. And then from here, the arms float down, the fingertips point up. And then very gently begin to rotate to one side. One hand spirals forward, the other spirals behind. Coming back to center, rotating the other way, making the tiger claws with the hands. Breathing in, breathing out. One more time, the tiger claw. This time the hands keep going all the way up overhead. Then they spiral out and away from each other and down. Once again, coming up the center, spiraling the energy, increasing the blood flow and the circulation. Silk reeling, upward spirals, opening the shoulders, opening the chest, decompressing the spine. One more time, silk reeling, the upward spirals. And then reverse direction with the arms. The arms come up and over just as much as you can comfortably. The fingertips point down, coming down the center and then spiraling out and away. Silk reeling, the downward spirals. Sending the energy down, rooting into the earth like roots of a tree, feeling your feet connected with the earth. Lower body strong, but also flexible. Upper body stable, moving freely. One more time, the downward spirals. Then the arms float out to the side, spreading your wings. The arms float down. This time the backs of the hands face each other, fingers pointing down. The hands come up the center and then out to the side. The fountain. Breathing in, rising up. Breathing out, letting go. How much can you let go? Moving like water, soft but powerful. Adapting to the environment. One more time, the fountain. And then reverse direction with the arms, circle in front, hug the tree, right out in front. And then from here, the arms open wide. This hand here drops down and drifts over to the other side. The hands switch positions, then they float across like clouds in the sky. When you get to the corner, the hands switch again, wave hands like clouds, drifting across. Nice and soft, softening the shoulders and the neck, softening the face and the eyes, using only what you need. Shifting the weight, moving from your center, the lower abdomen. And then this time the top hand makes a hook. The bottom hand comes up and then floats across the horizon, palm turns out. Circle it around again. We call this one single whip. Drift across, palm turns up. Now this time you can step in if you like, and then step out as the hand floats across. All right, one more time, single whip. And then release the hook. The hand drifts over, wave hands like clouds, taking your time as you step in. Drifting across, letting go. Breathing. This time the top hand makes a hook, the bottom hand comes up, then floats across, palm turns out, circle it around again, single whip. And you can keep going just like that. Or if you want this time, you can step in as the hand comes up, and then step out as the hand floats across. Circle it around once more. You can always soften the hook arm if it gets tired, just being kind to yourself. Then release the hook. The hand drifts over, wave hands like clouds. Once again, stepping in, drifting across, still breathing. This time you can step in as you make a hook. Step out, single whip, once again. And then circle it around once more. And then this time we'll reverse direction. The back foot turns out, the front hand comes up and over, presses down, then it scoops through, and then back up. Circle it around again. The snake creeps through the grass, softening down just as much as you can comfortably. One more time. Once again, you can always soften the hook arm. But this time the hook floats all the way up. Then it scoops down the back and through. Other side, the hand floats up, scoops down the back and through. The dancing dragon, breathing in, breathing out one more time. Then the back hand here drops down and drifts over. The hands switch positions. Wave hands like clouds, once again, stepping in, drifting across. Breathing. This time, step in as you make a hook. Step out for single whip. Nice and soft, taking your time. Once more, circle it around. And then reverse direction, the back foot turns out, the front hand comes up and over, pushes down, scoops through, and then back up. Circle it around again, the snake creeps through the grass. It's coming down, nice and easy, one more time. And then from here, the hook floats up. It scoops down the back and through. Other side, the dancing dragon. So you can stay nice and tall, or you can hinge from the hips, sinking down slightly. All right, one more time. The dancing dragon. Then the back hand here drops down, drifts over. Once again, wave hands like clouds. The hands become clouds. Connected with nature as we learn to move with effortless ease. Nice and soft, letting go of any tension you don't need. We'll drift across a few more times like a moving meditation, really tuning into the body, being here now. All right, one more time. Wave hands like clouds. And then from here, both hands float down, drifting up to shoulder height. Other side. Nice gentle sway, side to side, shifting the weight. And then this time, the palms face away. They drift across the horizon and then down. Floating up, drift across, painting on the canvas. Like our hands are making nice, gentle brush strokes. One more time. This time the arms float all the way up and over like a big wave, the Chen circles. Just coming up as much as you can comfortably, lubricating the joints. One more time. Breathing in, breathing out. And then reverse direction with the arms, floating up to shoulder height, taking your time, palms face away. They drift across the horizon and then down. Floating up, drift across, painting on the canvas. One more time, breathing in, breathing out, or taking as many breaths as you need. This time the arms float up and over for the Chen circles. Circling all the way around nice and slow, creating freedom of movement. All right, one more time. And then circle all the way in front and hug the tree. And soften. From here, the arms open wide, the hands float down, the palms face up, one hand on top of the other by the lower abdomen. And then this hand floats all the way up and over, down the center line of the body. Other side, breathe in as the hand floats up, breathing out, centering. Calming the heart, calming the mind. One more time, centering. This time, both hands float all the way up and over, just as much as you can comfortably. The hands float down to the waist as you soften the hips and knees. Circle the hands in front, as if you had a big ball in front of the body. Gather in the energy, bring it into the heart, and then release. One more time, opening the heart, rising up, softening down, and then this time making a diamond shape with the hands in front of the heart, and then press out, sending out all your loving kindness to the world. May all beings be free from suffering. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they live with ease. And then turning your palms to face yourself, the hands come to the heart. May I be kind to myself. May I feel connected with all beings. May I love myself just as I am. And the hands can float down to the lower abdomen. You can step your feet together or as close as you can. You can close your eyes or keep a soft gaze, letting your body rock and sway ever so gently, like bamboo in the wind. Strong but flexible. bending with the wind. Feeling the sensations in the body. Feeling the sensations of the breath. And then bring your attention into your heart, creating an inner smile. Expressing gratitude to yourself for being here today. And then if your eyes are closed, you can slowly open them. The hands can come together in front of the heart, and we can finish with a bow. Thank you all so much. So if you want, you can stay standing, either with the feet a little bit apart now, or you can have a seat, and I'll play a little bit of the Native American style flute, just to really send in the vibrations for you a little bit more. All right, so just take a few moments to really feel into the body. Notice any sensations that arise. And then if you like, I'd love it if you typed in the chat or the comments how you're feeling right now. All right, and then stick around for a few more. I'm going to show you some of the best exercises that you can do in addition to your Tai Chi to keep your shoulders nice and flexible. All right, I do have a poem for the end too. All right, so now for the first exercise, some of you may have seen this one before. It's called shoulder pendulums. All right, this is the best thing to do if you actually have shoulder pain. All right, this is good for everyone, but especially if you have pain, try this one. You might actually really benefit from it. All right, as always, always check with your healthcare provider first before doing any exercise, right? All right, now if you want, you can grab a chair, or you can use a countertop, or you can hold on to a friend, but hold on to something that's not gonna move, actually. So I'm gonna grab this chair. If you have a chair, make sure it doesn't have wheels, because that is moving. All right, so you just want something that you can kind of lean on, all right? So you're gonna lean, so this is my right hand, so my right leg will be forward as well. All right, so maybe your left hand will be leaning, your left foot will be forward. Now you wanna keep your spine tall, so you wanna kind of be in a little bit of a lunge, all right, where the knees are bent, all right, because you don't wanna have your legs straight and then be hunched over too much. especially if you have back issues. So have a little bit of a bend so that you can keep your back in good alignment. All right, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna actually use your body. So the arm that's dangling, all right, you're just gonna let your body guide the arm around in a circle. All right, now you can use the arm muscles a little bit, but you try not, you don't wanna just do that. That's not gonna do what we're wanting to do. Instead, use your body to kind of swing the arm around. So using a little bit of momentum, all right, moving from your center, just like in Tai Chi. All right, so you're gonna swing the arm around, and you might just wanna do small circles and see how that feels. Just kind of being kind of a little bit of rounded of the back is okay. You just don't wanna be super hunched. All right, but just going in about 5 to 10 circles one way, and then reverse direction. So just starting off with small circles, just letting your arm dangle, once again, like an empty coat sleeve. All right, so just circling it around. All right, and then we can switch sides. All right, and sometimes it helps to hold on to a little weight, actually. So if you have like a 1 pound dumbbell, actually I think I have one right here. All right, so you can grab a dumbbell too. And so remember, we'll do the mirror view. So your right hand is on the chair, right foot is forward. So that way your arm is kind of where your left leg would be. So left arm is holding something. And sometimes if you hold something light, you don't want it to be too heavy. We're not trying to build strength necessarily. We're trying to loosen up the joint. So we don't want it too heavy. But just making small circles. See, I'm using mostly my body. All right, if you don't get it at first, it might be a little weird because you're not used to doing it. So just do what you can at first. Don't worry about getting it perfect, even with this one. But if you start to feel back issues, then just get a little bit taller and try to do it more with a straighter back, I guess, or more neutral back. You just do 5 or 10 one way and then 5 or 10 the other. All right, and so what that does is that opens up the joint, especially if you hold on to a light weight. It's going to open up the joint in a good way to where it's creating space. All right, when you create space and then make circles, it stimulates what's called synovial fluid. That's the fluid that gives our joints nutrition. So it's a good fluid. All right, and so that's really something that you want to do, especially if you have pain. It's going to help to ease the pain by lubricating the joint, increasing blood flow to that area for healing. And then also it stimulates all these receptors in a very gentle way that basically stimulates the pain-relieving centers of your brain, releasing pain-relieving chemicals in your brain and hormones. So it's really helpful for that. And it's a great way just to keep the joint from getting stiff. All right, so that's the first thing to do. Just do 5 or 10 each way. So counterclockwise, clockwise. You can do both arms or maybe just the one that's bothering you for now. Well, you can do both though, it's either one. Either way is okay. All right, but try to do it maybe just every other day, or try doing it maybe every day for a couple days, but always take a day off just to see how you feel. So maybe do it for, we'll say 5 days. All right, so do it 5 days in a row and see what happens. All right. Now, if it gets sore after the first day, then take a day off right away. But in general, you can do this one 5 or 6 times a week. And then eventually, some people do it every day. Depends on the person, but I always say, just for safety, let's take 1 day off. Just let your body kind of readjust and kind of absorb the information. All right, so that's called shoulder pendulums. Okay, so like your arms kind of swinging like a pendulum, only going in circles. All right, the next one is one we actually did during the flow at the very beginning. It's called the shoulder rolls. All right, and so for the shoulder rolls, it's kind of tricky to say for me for some reason. You can stand with your feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, so nice and tall but not rigid. All right, so if you get as tall as you can, then you can just soften slightly. So you're kind of nice and kind of springy, soft, rooted into the earth, and then lift your shoulders up towards your ears and then let them fall back and down. So just making big circles with your shoulders. This is one you can do anytime, anywhere, really. That's why this one's good to have in your toolbox for shoulder flexibility to keep it from getting stiff. You can even do it sitting in a chair. So if you're on the computer a lot during the day, just take a break every 30 minutes and I recommend every 30 minutes standing up for 30 seconds and looking 30 yards away. And for a bonus, you can do the shoulder rolls too. All right, because what happens if you're on the computer a lot, your eyes are really focused, that actually activates some of the muscles in your neck, which then can tense the neck and shoulders. So it all kind of like radiates down with tension. And so it can really just start just by being on the computer too much, being focused in. So if you can stand up, relax, get into better alignment, look further away. So we say 30 yards, but just look in the distance. That'll relax the eyes, which will relax your muscles in the back of your neck and head. So it's really helpful. And then for a bonus, you can add in the shoulder rolls to add in some more mobility and flexibility. All right, the shoulder rolls, you can do 5 to 10 of those. You can pretty much do those multiple times a day. I would say no more than 3 times a day. Maybe just start with once a day. You could do them, same thing, 5 or 6 times a week. And you can always just progress from there, just seeing what works for you. All right, but try to do them at least once a day for the first week to see how it feels. Once again, if it gets sore, take a day off the next day. But this one's really hard. I think it's not usual to get too sore from that one. So I even, as a physical therapist, as many of you know that I'm also a PT, that's one of the first things we would give patients after surgery for certain things. But for a lot of the surgeries, you can just start them doing this so they can make sure they don't get what's called frozen shoulder, where it freezes up, it gets really stiff, and takes forever to get loosened up again. So that way you can really keep the shoulders loose. All right, it's pretty safe for most people. Once again, always check with your primary healthcare provider if you're not sure. All right, the next one and the last one we'll do today is called sinking the chi. Now you all know this one if you were here today at all. So we did that at the beginning, and we do it usually at the beginning of each class. So sinking the chi is one of the best things you can do out of everything, in my opinion. All right, so you can do this sitting, standing. If you're standing, once again, you want to get into a nice posture where you're not rigid. So you want to just kind of soften everything a little bit. So you're kind of springy, a little springy. All right, and then at this point, you can use both hands together. So breathe in, the arms float up to shoulder height. They circle around in front, like you're kind of hugging the tree, but then bring the hands in towards the heart, and then rotate the hands, press down. All right, so it's almost like you're gathering energy into your heart, and then sending it down through the body towards the earth. So sinking the chi is really good, especially if you have trouble sleeping. This can be good because the energy tends to rise up into our head throughout the day. So by the end of the day, our head is like buzzing with all the things we need to do and all the things we did, all the things we wish we did and wish we didn't, right? And so this can really just kind of symbolically, at the least, get us into the body. Just imagine everything just settling down out of the head so our head can calm down and just kind of quiet a bit. Now what you can do is 5 to 10 of those, and that's going to really keep the shoulders loose. And so what you can do is also what's called progressively sinking the chi. All right, so start off wherever you can where it doesn't hurt. So maybe for you, the arms float up, and maybe you just come towards your abdomen. Maybe that's good enough for you. Because if you go higher, it hurts, so don't go that high. So just go to where it feels okay. All right, and let's do that for the day. So that'll be 5 to 10 reps, and then you're done. Breathing in, breathing out as the hands come down. All right, then the next day, maybe do a couple of those at the regular height, and then see if you can go a little bit higher. Like, oh, now I can go a little higher. And just do that height for the rest of the day. So don't keep going, not today. Patience, all right? All right, then the next day, all right, so then we take a little break. And then so the next day, we get up and or maybe it's at night because you want to get better sleep. And so you're like, okay, now I'm going to do it a little. So I start off at the regular height I left off at yesterday, which was shoulder height. So I got up to shoulder height yesterday. Now I'm going to go, let's try a little bit higher, see what happens. Oh, now I'm up to kind of in front of my face a little bit, and that feels okay. All right, so you keep kind of inching your way up until eventually you might even go all the way up and overhead and coming all the way down. All right, so you don't have to ever get to that point where you go that high. Once again, it's a progressive path. It's like you're on this path pointing in the direction of more mobility, but you might get to a point where no matter what you do, it just hurts if you get to a certain point, so just don't worry about that. Just go right below that point and sink the chi from there. All right, you'll still keep your shoulders mobile, but sometimes it's nice to see a little bit of gains in the mobility, so that's something you can use to kind of see yourself increasing your mobility over time. All right, now it might be just at shoulder height for a whole week or two, or maybe even a month or two. All right, everyone's different, so just listen to your body, be kind to yourself, and try to have patience, knowing that this is not a race. All right, we all get to the end, right? One way or the other, we'll get to the end. So let's get to the end with grace. or at least more grace than we might have had otherwise. All right, well, let me know if those exercises are helpful. Type in helpful in the comments, let me know. All right, that way I can continue to offer these in upcoming classes. All right, and then I do have a poem for you to finish the day. All right, so this poem is from Li Po, who's a Taoist poet, who said, "The river flows, twisting and turning, adapting to the contours of the land. It does not resist, but embraces the path, teaching us the way of resilience and grace." All right, so that really embodies Tai Chi and a great way to live life. All right, so meeting yourself where you're at, learning how to adapt, moving forward, and really just trying to find grace, but in the meantime, we're building this resilience. All right, so the struggle is what makes us stronger sometimes. All right, but at the same time, try to find that balance where you're not struggling so much that you're beating yourself up and burning yourself out. Instead, a little bit of challenge, really finding that edge, just like we do with sinking the chi, right? The progressive sinking the chi is you find your edge and then just work there for a while, and then slowly you can raise the edge higher and higher over time. All right, well, thank you all so much. Let me know if you have any questions, type them in the chat. I'll go over all the comments over the next couple days. Well, I go through them pretty much every day, so if anything ever comes up, feel free to type in the comments, or you can send me an email. All right, and yeah. Oh, and once again, if you are new to our community, you can register for the new member webinar, An Introduction to Tai Chi. It's this Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, USA time, and it's via Zoom, so you have to register. So you can click on the link in the video description, or you can just type webinar in the chat, and we'll send you the link. All right, well, thank you all so much. I really appreciate you all for being here. And until we meet again, I wish you all peace, happiness, and harmony. Thank you.